I was born in Tembisa some years ago. Okay, 31 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was born in Tembisa Hospital. And I almost grew up there. Most part of my younger days I was in Tembisa. I started schooling there. Went to Naboomspruit when my parents passed away and stayed with my aunt and uncle Johannes Serutu and Aunt Helen. From there, I stayed with my grandmother. I went to stay with my uncle and aunt. Then later on, passed my matric. Mainly, the only degree which was available into us as black people, it was mainly medical degree. But optometrists, there were very few black optometrists at that stage. And I started to want to do something different, not to follow the rest who also all wanted to do medical degree. And I started reading more about optometry and I started falling in love with it and knowing that, look, your vision is your independence. Without vision, you won't be able to achieve anything. Without my eyes, I won't be able to study or even go to school or even independent to go anywhere I want to go. So basically, vision, it is everyone's independent. So I just felt like, you know what, at this stage, maybe I should just, I fell in love with it and I decided, look, I'm going to go for optometry. I did my year, university was great, obviously. Although I was just busy in everything, but I did get good marks and I did pass. I finished my university in 2001. I started working for a year. After working for someone who was also, so that I can, get to know how is it. It was in private practice at that stage. And unfortunately, the opportunities for optometry in the government sector, even at this stage, we don't have enough hospitals. We don't have enough posts in the public hospitals, mainly because the government cannot afford to fund optometry posts, and secondly, the government cannot afford to buy optometry equipment. So for me, when I graduated, the only place for me to work, it was to actually go to a private sector, because in private sector, that's where optometry practices are well established. I felt like I'm more of an entrepreneur rather than just an office worker or someone who just work and that's it without having ideas. I had a lot of ideas for business, so I wanted to venture into those ideas. So what I did, I spoke to my boss then and we came to an agreement when he said he would sell me his practice because he was relocating. I took a challenge. I bought the practice. At that stage, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any security or collateral as the bank wanted at that stage. But fortunately, I managed to get the loan from the bank. They borrowed me almost $250,000. $500,000, not $250,000, from the bank to buy the practice, to buy equipment and all that. It was just a risk. I was just 21 years old with $500,000 debt, and I didn't know, but I just trusted in God and said, you know what, I'm still young. Even if I fail, I'll have an extra chance again to redo it again. Because for me, I don't believe that if you shouldn't try things because you're scared to fail. I just feel like, failing is just a learning process. I have to start somewhere, and if I have to start with a big loan account, but I know that my objectives are to turn around the business and actually make profit. Fortunately, I worked very hard. I advertised, I marketed my business, I treated my patient with respect to a point that my business turned around and I started making profit. I think in 3 years, I managed to pay off the $500,000 loan. And now I was on the positive side. I started buying myself cars and bought a house. And that's where it started. And from there, I've been having that practice for the past, now it's 9 years, and it's still doing very well. It's in the city center, in a busy street in Pretoria. And it's doing very, very well at this stage. I'm where I am financially because of the income that I get from the practice.